Hello YouTube and welcome back once again to Zalutadil. And you can see here that we are currently in medias res, in the middle of things, and are being attacked by a very angry force of goblins. And you can see this big old empty corpse pile over here. Where could all the corpses be? Well, as you had just seen, they're all currently stacked up on this one tile right here. Hundreds upon hundreds of goblin skeletons, all kind of just stacked up right here on top of this bridge, which is linked up over here to this little pressure plate that a goblin's about to step on. I'll tell you, I'm pretty happy I got this thing set up in time. This is going to be beautiful, I think, YouTube. You ready for this? Let's do it. That goblin seems to have walked around it. Any second now. Oh, another one walked around. So close. Oh, hey now. Oh. And? Please? You're killing me over here. You're actually killing me. But why? Well, clearly I screwed something up. I don't know what. Damn, that's disappointing. Well, at least I was able to get them to walk past this gigantic stacked pile of goblin corpses. We'll have to make sure to work out those bugs for next time. Anyways, fortress. You can see that the fortress is already on lockdown. All the dwarves are nice and safe inside. The front gates are locked up. And now we're just waiting for these damn goblins to get up to the long hall and start their way into the fortress. Where you can see I've erected a bunch more cage traps than we had last time, which is a good thing because it looks like these goblins mean some serious business. There are actually no recruits or wrestlers this time. They're all completely armed. I was really hoping that goddamn corpse trap would work. And perhaps kill a couple of them? I don't know. I suppose those logs didn't work. I have no reason to think that corpses will. But one can hope, right? Currently early winter in the year 1042. I've tried to let some time pass because I am eager to kill as many goblins as possible. As I had said before, when the next update to Dwarf Fortress comes out, I'm probably going to switch right over. And I really want to change the age of this world before that. We have to put an end to the age of goblins, and we can only accomplish that by killing as many of these green-skinned bastards as possible. So hopefully I'm going to be doing a lot of that during this episode. Just going to let time pass, kill goblins, and you know, just take a peek in every once in a while. I mean, we've got to be putting a dent in their population at this point, right? I'd say so. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.5 pages of invaders, YouTube. Yeah, that is ugly. Yikes, huh? I'm glad I got these cages up. I have a bad feeling about this one, though. If the goblins are ever able to kill a substantial amount of my dwarves, then we're gonna be screwed. These sieges seem to be getting stronger, and if our military gets weaker and weaker over time, then eventually we won't be able to do anything. Now, an idea I had earlier was to split up my army and send half of it through the back like we usually do, but then send the other half up through this corridor here and kind of like, you know, squeeze them in the middle of this hallway. I don't know if that would be smart though. It could be very smart for all I know, but I'm not sure. This is such a strong siege. What if it's a catastrophic failure? What if it ends up getting a bunch of my dwarves killed? Well, I'll tell you what. When in doubt, roll a dice. Odds, we do as we usually do. Evens, we try our new pincher technique. Odds it is. We do as we usually do. Oh, but damn it, I really want to try out that new way. God, I'm a pain in the ass, huh? Alright, let's see here. Mad cones, Osprey's Eye, Rabid Possums. You guys move into the farm chamber right here. Pinebeards, Boars, Timberwolves, you guys move into the tunnels under the fortress as per usual. Get to it. Yet for all I know, this could work out absolutely beautifully. There's no reason to think it won't, except for Dwarf Fortress, and nothing ever works out as you think it will. That's enough jabbering, I suppose. Let's wait for these goblins to advance through the corridor as far as they can, while the dwarves prepare themselves. Well, good thing is, it looks like a lot of these goblins are making their way into the hallway this time. I think they're all actually going to fit in this time. That being said, they're going to start getting through shortly. I should probably start moving the dwarves up from the tunnels. Alright, the order is given, and now we'll have to wait for those tunnel dwarves to get up here before I send the others out. Because the others are virtually right behind this door right here, and they'll be able to get right into the action. Tunnel group is moving up. Man, I really hope this works. Tunnel group is exiting the bloodthirst of butterflies, where we've yet to have a single visitor, by the way. Very upsetting. Okay, so I'm going to take the second group and order them to kill all the goblins. Let's go, dwarves! The first of the tunnel dwarves has engaged the goblins. Seems to be doing well. Arrows and bolts are flying. Martial trance is engaged. This one dwarf seems to be surrounded currently, but is doing well for himself. The farm group is moving into the hallway now. A couple of trainee dwarves in that group. Don't seem to be doing too well, honestly. Alright, we've effectively blocked up both ends of the hallway right now. One thing's for sure, none of these goblins are getting out, even if we do suffer horrendous losses. Farm group is still moving in. The tunnel group is moving up into the hall now. They are now up top, sweeping down the corridor. It looks like the goblins are beginning to try to retreat out of the hallway now. I think I see a wounded dwarf in there. Never good. We lost a dwarf. One of the boars. The group up top here is going to be in trouble. A timber wolf has been found dead. Now, because the goblins are retreating, they are running full force into this group up top now. I'm not too sure what the farm group is doing down here at the moment. Some of them seem to be just kind of standing around. Not good. The group up top is doing pretty well. They've killed a large number of goblins. Alright, I think that was the last of them. Let's take a look here. That was the last of them. Fantastic. Well, good job, dwarves. A whole bunch of captured goblins now. We're starting to get overloaded with captives here. Let's take a look at our immediate losses. Down to 181 dwarves. We were at 184, so we lost 3 dwarves during the fighting. But, I mean, not so bad, really. We lost 5 dwarves last siege, and that was against a good amount of recruits and wrestlers. Maybe I'll have to play around with this technique a little bit. I kind of like it. Yeah, I mean, I guess that went over pretty well, I'd say. One of the boars has been found dead. Good, great, fantastic. Well, we have our hospital working and fully stocked at the moment. We've been making plenty of soap, which I've never made in Dwarf Fortress before. It's kind of a pain in the ass, but it should come in handy. Rest up, you poor dwarves. Because those goblins are out there and they're going to be back. And they are going to be pissed. They've got to be wondering at this point why none of their warriors return. Well, you don't screw with Zeludadil. These dwarves will rip you to shreds. Now it's time to figure out why the hell this damn corpse thing didn't work. Very upsetting. Well, I suppose I'm going to tinker around with that a little bit. Nothing interesting to see there. And alongside that, I need to queue up some more wooden figurines to trade with the merchants. We traded away almost all of them last time they came, which I did not put in the video, mind you. You know, I'm starting to think of these wooden figurines as being kind of like the currency of our fortress here. Instead of coins, we have these gem-encrusted wooden figures. Makes it kind of unique, I'd say. Let's see, we'll start off by making 100 wooden figurines of... Of what? How about wild boars? We've got plenty of them here in the fortress. 100 wooden figurines of wild boars. Pretty cool. But what else? Well, how about, considering the problems we've had with goblins lately, Monarch Butterfly Man, which I know we've made before, but we're going to add in a picture of nothing? Why the hell is that an option? Plus there's male and female nothing. What? We'll add in a picture of a goblin, and we'll have the Monarch Butterfly Man devouring the goblin. Seems apt, right? Well, how about beak dogs? A figurine of a beak dog. Yeah, easy enough, right? That's kind of a cool figurine. And then, as per usual, we'll make 100 more wooden figurines of just anything the artist desires. Sounds good. 400 wooden figurines. Very cool. Get to it, dwarves. Alright, now that's all set. Any other bits of housekeeping I should attend to? Oh, something I forgot to mention, actually. Our beloved military leader, Rovad, the Gladiator, formerly Butterfingers. Such an interesting character, I'll tell you. For as long as he's been in this fortress, he's only made 3 friends, all fields birds. What the hell? His only friends in the fortress are osprey people. I'd like to think that they were the only ones he could talk to during his whole Butterfingers phase. Poor bastard. Oh, Rovad. 1042 is coming to a close. I'm gonna let the dwarves get to their work, and I'll get back to you next time something exciting happens. See you in a little bit. Glorious day, YouTube. Would you take a look at this? The monarch has arrived. Your ruler has arrived with a full entourage. You are now a Mountainhome. YouTube, this is something we never even accomplished in Delershlit. And this is only episode... What episode is this? Episode 7 of this fortress. My god. Let's take a look at her, huh? Kivish Keeperplank, the queen of the foggy books. I'm in awe right now, YouTube. Let's unpause it to see what happens. It looks like the queen has showed up with a pair of farmers. Both are pretty well outfitted, and a cheesemaker as well. They all have well-crafted armor and weapons. And here comes a miller. Currently up to 191 dwarves. Here's a duck, just for the heck of it. Hey now, would you look at that, YouTube? Olan Katanluk, the Lord Doctor. Olan was the head doctor in Delershilid. Very interesting. Well, that looks to be it. So we got the queen, a couple of farmers and cheesemakers, who are kind of like her personal guard, and then the outpost liaison, who was Olan Katanluk, the Lord Doctor. Very interesting. Alright, well, I suppose I'm going to go through and take stock of all our new arrivals, get them all sorted out, and then we'll figure out what we're doing with this queen. 1 second. Alright, YouTube. We could see Kivish, the queen, kind of just checking the place out, currently in the Hungry Axe, probably enjoying the sights, looking out over the arena grounds. Oh, and she had just made her first mandate, actually. Frightening, let's take a look. Battle axes. She wants 2 of them. Pretty cool, Kivish. Currently 119 years old, which is pretty old for a dwarf. But besides that, a fairly typical dwarf. You may remember that we had encountered her in the past when we were playing as the hero of balance, Bim Silversnarl. She and a couple other dwarven baronesses were living in the dwarven capital, kind of just by themselves. An odd situation, really. Well, I could see here that she likes billion, which is an alloy of copper and silver, and luckily we can make a ton of it here. We kind of have to hurry up and make a bunch of this stuff that she requires, just so she doesn't start to get pissy. If you take a look up here in the area I had intended to be the queen's quarters, I am starting to get rid of some of these floors because I do have plans, but there's nothing in here yet. Nothing at all, actually. But it shouldn't be a problem. I just built a ton more smelters and metalsmiths workshops down in the mines here. So we're going to start pumping out billion bars. And we're going to get her quarters decked out in this stuff. I was planning on going with gold, but billion might be cool too, seeing as how she prefers it and all. Huh, well go figure. It's actually pronounced billin, I suppose? My entire Dwarf Fortress career, I've been pronouncing it billion. Learn something new every day, I swear. Besmar Erethkir, the artisan, has created Tish-Ith Shadmal, a ginkgo wood bracelet. How very droll. Let's take a look. Spiral Confused. It is adorned with hanging rings of diorite and menaces with spikes of ginkgo wood. On the item is an image of dwarves and pecan wood. The dwarves are founding future lanterns in the year 1032. And there's also an image of Sensed Clothes, the Contingent Eye, the Willow Grate, and Pecan Wood. So basically on this item is the story of the founding of future lanterns and the creation of its first artifact. That's kinda cool. A little boring, yes, but not bad. Well, good job I suppose. Now throw it in the pile and get back to work. And with that, YouTube, it is currently the 14th of Hematite, 1043, early summer. You know what that means. It's now time for the summer hunt of 1043. And I know I said I'm not going to be doing the whole raining goblins thing every year, but I really don't have anything else planned, so what the hell. And I'll tell you what, I'm not going to be too cute with it this year, sending in one squab like last year. That was a little hazardous. We lost a dwarf, if you remember. Because we have a queen here, I want some glorious bloodshed. I want those goblins slaughtered in an instant. So I'll tell you what, I'm going to send everybody in, and they're going to be waiting for the goblins down there, right here. Oh, and here they come, those brave gladiators. I imagine they're looking upwards towards where the goblins will fall from. Quite eager, I'm sure. Alright, that's the majority of them. Now then, nobody? There's nobody here. Where the hell's everyone? Got goddamn Moosebane here, and a couple other useless merchants. That's it. Where's the queen? I was hoping she'd at least be here, sleeping in the dormitory. Wondrous. Well, in the dwarves' defense, they're all very, very busy, getting the queen's quarters ready, smelting bars, making furniture. Not much time for entertainment, I suppose. Looks like this year will be the year of the gladiators. This entertainment won't be for the citizens of Zoludadil, it'll be for the warriors. Okay, brave warriors. Are you ready for glorious combat? Well, prepare yourselves, because here it comes. First, we will pull the levers and release the goblins, and I suppose we should lock this door here so the goblins can't get into the fortress. My god, that would have been ugly. While we're waiting for that, YouTube, up above this chamber here, I've actually built a second chamber filled with goblin cages, and I hope to get rid of this floor in the middle, put a bridge there, so that we actually have 2 levels of this goblin dropping chamber. Double the goblins. Hopefully it'll be ready for next year. There we go. All the goblins are now free, running around the chamber in a panic, scrabbling, scraping at the walls, screeching perhaps, I'm sure. Oh sweet, the queen actually made it. Good. Prepare yourself, your majesty. The bloodshed will be glorious. Now then, pull the lever. Gonna keep my eyes on the ground here. And here they are. Go get them, dwarves. The hunt is on. Fighting well, plowing their way through the horde. One of the recruits seems to be in trouble. Come on, no deaths this year. One left, and he's just been blown to pieces. Good job, all. Oh, I don't know why these two are in the pond. Hey, maybe you guys want to crawl up on out of that pond there. I mean, personally, I don't know why you just jump in the pond, like, immediately after the fighting is over. That doesn't really make a lot of sense. Yeah, go ahead, get on up. Yeah, go ahead, you guys. Get up out of that pond. Alright, one of them got out. Maybe you want to get out, too. Come on, buddy. Get up on out of that pond. You legendary spear dwarf, you. Because I'm going to tell you. I'll tell you right now, if you die in there, I'm going to leave your corpse in there. Oh, God, that got out. Oh, phew. Good. I thought for sure they were dead. Well, I really have no way to tell who won the hunt this year. When in doubt, roll some dice. We have 60 dwarves. I'm going to roll D percentage on my dice here. And we got a 36. So let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 31, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Aban Ablelektad Italnamakas Tesh, a member of the Osprey's Eye. You win this year, you lucky dwarf. Quite a skilled dwarf, too. A Grand Master Spear Dwarf. Ah, Aban is actually the wife of our longtime mayor, Mebzup. Very cool. Well, Aban, considering your great luck in winning this year, I believe your new nickname shall be Aban of Fortune Found. How's that? Sounds good to me. And I wish you luck in the future, Aban. Good job. Now get back to work, will you? Well, now that the summer hunt's over, I suppose I can start deconstructing this floor and get that bridge in place for next year. Possibly for next year. And besides that, we're going to keep working on the Queen's Chambers here. Still have a ways to go, as you can see. And I tell you what, I'm going to get back to you if anything exciting happens, because I'm still trying to make time progress as fast as possible. I'm hoping to get at least one more siege in this episode. High hopes, YouTube. And we are back once more to the creation of a new artifact. Lorbam Thaknomal, the naturalist's assistant, has created Stabashador, a bituminous coal scepter. They were working on it for a while and put a lot into it. So it's either going to be really cool or super cluttered. Let's take a look. The Deteriorated Lark. What? Huh. Well, I was expecting a lot more than that, honestly. It is encrusted with cushioned bituminous coal cabicons, decorated with pigtail and willow, and encircled with bands of round native platinum cabicons, cushioned bituminous coal cabicons, sheep wool, table-cut bloodstones, and pigtail. This object menaces with spice of clear tourmaline and wild boar bone. Holy hell, huh? Well, in terms of it being cluttered, it's really not that bad. I mean, it is a scepter, so it's got enough space on there for that all to fit. Well, regardless, throw it in the pile and get back to work. Now then, a whole bunch of time has passed. It is currently early winter, 1043, so maybe 4 or 5 months have passed at least, and I'm still hard at work on the Queen's quarters, which are up here. All this light gray stuff you see is Billin bars, and I've got a whole lot in this dining room here. Several statues, weapon racks, armor stands. Over here I have a window made of Almandine, one of her favorites, and I've actually managed to cram enough in here where she's satisfied with the place. And now we're working on her bedroom. Still pumping out Billin bars as fast as we can, but we're using a lot of them, and we have to keep expanding the mine. I really kind of don't want to run into caves just yet, so I'm trying to be careful. And then up above all that is where we have her throne room. Still getting the outer wall done on that, and that's going to be multiple Z levels tall. And I plan on putting a window over on the eastern side, just to kind of let some light in there. I think it's going to be pretty cool when it's done, but again, we still have a ways to go. I have reconfigured our little corpse pile trap over here. I'm hoping it works next time. Like, really hoping. And let's see, what else? Ah yes, up here, the goblin dropping chamber. I have completed a second level of it, right above, right here. Both have bridges in the middle, and both will be linked up to a lever, so that hopefully next year there'll be 2 times the goblins in the arena. I'm pretty excited. Should be a good one. Well, other than that, there's not very much to report. Just working away at the fortress here, and trying to let time pass so we can see those goblins again this episode. Got my fingers crossed, YouTube. See you in a bit. Holy crap, YouTube. Look at this. The Cyclops Verenofakaki Kithe Tivivi has come, a giant humanoid monster with a single eye set in its forehead. Long time no see, Verenofakaki. You may remember that this was the Cyclops that we had captured in Delaershalid quite some time ago. I don't know why it's here right now. Fairly disturbing. If I recall correctly, the thing's arm was broken. Well, his arm seems fine, but his foot seems pretty banged up. I don't know why. Seriously though, YouTube, I have no clue why he's here. He was trapped in Delaershalid. He was stuck in a cage. Makes you wonder what the hell else is out there. Alright dwarves, everyone in the fortress right now, let's go. I've got a feeling this thing's gonna book it straight for the fortress as soon as I unpause it. This may get ugly. Alright, it's moving in, fairly cautious. pushing his way through the pines. He seems kind of confused, perhaps awed at our storage silo. Coming around the front of the fortress. Oh boy, there's a dwarf over here. I hope it doesn't see him. Easy enough. Alright, well, the Cyclops is now stuck in a cage. Terribly anticlimactic. So, this poor Cyclops was stuck in a cage in Gladiator for probably 20 years at least. Somehow managed to escape, and is now again stuck in a cage. You poor, poor bastard. I recall saying before that I wanted to make a little enclosure for this Cyclops in Gladiator, but I never got around to it. Maybe I'll do that here. Seems like kind of a fun idea. Although I am a bit concerned about this. If this Cyclops managed to escape, what else escaped? Trying to think what we had locked up there. Gem Worm, the dragon, was locked up there as a zombie. Well, I kind of doubt that a mindless undead zombie would want anything to do with our little forest fortress here. That might just be wishful thinking though. We did have Gekutsalor locked up there as well, but that thing wasn't really an actual monster, just an unkillable ogre head. We'll have to keep our eyes open, I guess. A very interesting turn indeed. Well, YouTube, it is currently early spring, 1044. We've made it through the winter. Well, I'll tell you, I'm going to continue on just a bit longer and finish up some preparations for the summer hunt. It should be an extremely bloody one. That's the hope anyways. And yet another artifact. Edsel Erithnol, the farm's dwarf, has created Anastos, a chalk statue of Stozu chance thieves. Pretty interesting. Let's take a look. The Doctrines of Directing. Stozu chance thieves the goblin, and Asmel dagger splattered the Coven of Songs the dwarf. Asmel dagger splattered the Coven of Songs is striking down Stozu chance thieves. Awesome. On the item is yet another image of Sensed Clothes the Contingent Eye, the Willow Grey in Pigtail. And to finish it all off is an image of a cabbage in ginkgo wood. I gotta say, that cabbage really pulls the whole thing together. Well, fantastic. Now throw it in the pile and get back to work. We are back once again. It is mid-spring currently. We still have a little bit to go before the summer hunt of 1044, and the dwarves are still busy at work linking up all the goblin cages to levers. The queen's chambers are coming right along. They consist almost entirely of Billin at this point. We still have no window up there. That's still going to take a bit, I think. As you can see here, the dwarves are replacing her wooden roof with Billin bars. I think that would look pretty cool. She does have a nice royal bedroom now, and she's completely satisfied with it. So all she needs now is a throne room, which we're working on, and a mausoleum, which I have not yet even touched. If you look down here, our mining operations are advancing at an alarming rate, trying to get enough gems for that giant window in her room. And I mean, you know, get some spare gems as well. Nothing wrong with more gems. And besides that, I'm just kind of sitting here trying to think up some interesting plans for our new friend, the Cyclops. You know, I think it would be pretty cool to throw it into the arena, but you know, if I threw it in there and made it fight goblins, it would die. There's really no doubt about it. So I don't think I'm going to do that, not quite yet anyways. They are gigantic, powerful creatures, as it should be obvious, but they have no skill in their fighting whatsoever. So I think it would be pretty cool if we made a little area for Veranofakaki to just kind of hang out, and then maybe we could throw goblins in there with it, and then I could just, you know, like kill one at a time, maybe two at a time, and kind of build up its strength a little bit, and then we could start throwing it into the arena to kill small groups of goblins. I think it'd be pretty cool to come up with a way to successfully manage a giant Cyclops like this, so I think that's what we're gonna do. Just don't get your hopes up about seeing it in the arena anytime soon. We gotta make sure it's nice and ready. You know. You know, we have a big space over here. I think this is where I'm gonna put an enclosure for the Cyclops. Yeah, I think that'll be nice. Kind of away from the fortress, just for safety's sake. That might be cool. I'm gonna get started on that. Nothing too fancy. Alright YouTube, we are well underway with the Cyclops Pen, and boy am I getting creative with it. Now you can see this little entrance over on the right side here. There's a bridge at both ends and some cage traps in the middle. These bridges will be linked up to a lever, and we can open it up so that the Cyclops thinks it can escape, but it will really get caught in a cage trap. We'll use this if we ever need to get the thing stuck in a cage trap again. Most of the time these will be closed up. And then in the main area here, I figured I'd make a little room for it right here, you know, just so we can get some privacy. We could put a little roof on there, nice and private. Now I'm going to make this thing a couple Z levels tall with this little staircase over on the right side leading up to the top, just kind of an access tunnel. And then I'm also going to make a walkway leading from our fortress here over to the top level of this Cyclops Pen, just so we could drop goblins and that sort of stuff in. Speaking of which, I've also queued up a couple Gabbro statues here, statues of menacing goblins. I'm gonna put those in there with the Cyclops, just to, you know, like, get them set on the right path. Goblins are the bad guys, not dwarves. I'm sure he'll get the point. And you know, I was also thinking of throwing some weapons in there too. I'm not sure if it would just pick a weapon up and start using it, but I have seen large creatures like that pick up weapons and use them in the past. There was actually an Etten, a two-headed giant in Gladiator, that picked up, I think it was a pair of pants, and beat the hell out of a couple dwarves with it. But you know, I'm thinking like an actual weapon might be a little cooler. And it would also make the Cyclops a bit more dangerous in the arena, which would be cool. Goblin weapons might be cooler. We have a bunch of those things laying around too. Oh yeah, a whole bunch of stuff. You know, maybe I'll just throw in a whole selection of different weird goblin weapons and let him take his pick. That'd be pretty cool, huh? Yeah, I like it. I set up a little pile here, and dwarves should be bringing in an array of weird weapons to it shortly. I'm getting pretty excited, YouTube. I don't know about you. But YouTube, that's enough of Cyclops enclosures for the time being. For as you see, it is currently the 7th of Malachite 1044, midsummer. And you know what that means. It's time for the summer hunt of 1044. Now, all of my military squads have been training very diligently, all except for the Pinebeards and the Mad Cones. They are the most skilled ones, so I've been using them as a labor force around the fortress here. So I'm thinking they could use a little bit of exercise. What do you say? 20 dwarves versus 72 goblins? Now that sounds like a fight. Move out, dwarves. Now then. Dwarves of Zoludadil. The reason you've all assembled here today is obvious. Quite plain, really. You crave glorious bloodshed. And this year, dwarves, a sea of blood flows your way. For this year, 2 times the amount of goblins shall be dropped into the arena to be slaughtered by our most skilled warriors, the Pinebeards and the Mad Cones. Can they prevail against such large numbers, or shall they all perish today before your very eyes? Well, we shall soon see. For the summer hunt is about to begin. Brace yourselves, dwarves. It looks like all the warriors are here now. Good, because we need every dwarf we can get this year. And now then, if all the gladiators are ready, it's time to pull the lever. Kivish, the queen, is in attendance. Good to see. Prepare yourself, your majesty. The blood shall be glorious. The goblins are all free from their cages. The bridge should open up any second now. The lever is pulled. The hunt is on. Get in there, dwarves. The dwarves are moving in. Goblins have begun to die already. The bloodshed here will be tremendous. Arrows and bolts flying left and right. The dwarves are moving through the group of goblins. They seem to be having some trouble. Many of the goblins are still stunned. I see a wounded dwarf down to the south. The dwarves are fighting their best. Still a few bowmen out there. Getting dangerous. I see a badly wounded dwarf. And that looks to be all of them. I'll tell you, YouTube, that was a tense arena battle. Let's take a look at our losses. No dwarves died in the fighting, but we have a few wounded dwarves here. 3, it looks like. And we have a dwarf with a bruised arm. Big whoop. Bruised upper body and a bruised lung. No big deal at all. And this one doesn't seem to have any health problems whatsoever. All these dwarves are doing fine. Well, good. Fantastic. That's just what I like to see. Man, you guys rock, I'll tell you. A beautiful hunt, as always. But anywho, it is time now to name the winner of this year's summer hunt. But how to do that? Well, seeing as how it's nearly impossible to tell just by looking at their number of kills, I'm going to pick through this combat log here and see if I see anything interesting. I'll tell you what, this dwarf fought like a beast. Stabbed a bowman in its arm, then its leg, then its head, then its neck, then moved on to an axeman, stabbed it in the neck, bit the thing in its stomach, tore its lower spine tissue. While doing this, she jumped away from a flying silver bolt, stabbed the goblin in the head twice, killing it, and then chopped the goblin pikeman's hand off. And she's currently a legendary spear dwarf as well, so more than deserving of an awesome nickname, I'd say. So, Eineth, because you fought like a beast, from this day forward you shall be known as the Beast. Congratulations, Eineth. You win this year's summer hunt. Now back to work with you. Good job. Well, YouTube, that was quite an episode, I'd say. Unfortunately, we didn't get that second siege. Coming up on 2 years since those goblins last attacked. I'm hoping we didn't scare them off. We got to see our old friend Verino Fakaki, Kithe Tavivi again, the Cyclops, currently locked in this little cage here. But we are well on our way to having a nice new Cyclops holding chamber over here. Very excited about that, by the way, YouTube. It's going to be awesome. But besides that, YouTube, the most exciting thing I'd say is that Zoludadil is now the mountain home of the Foggy Books. And we have ourselves a queen. That is incredibly exciting to me. I can't wait to see what antics arise from this. Oh, and by the way, if you haven't guessed yet, I do plan on staying in this fortress for a few more episodes anyways. Honestly, I feel like we're just scratching the surface here. But we'll play it by ear. If we don't hear from those goblins in a little bit, then we'll move on. And as always, YouTube, thank you so much for watching. I truly appreciate it. And I hope you join me next time, here in Zalutadil, the Mountainhome. And until then, YouTube,